This is the moment Heinz Braun will remember for the rest of his life. The moment when, just 40 yards or so into the west, he finally dared to let himself believe that he had pulled off probably the most audacious escape from the east since the Berlin Wall went up 25 years ago. Thumbs up at the traffic lights to the driver of the lead car, which had pulled quietly out of a side street near the checkpoint, the car leading him and his dummy Russian soldiers to the west. Camera fixed to its back seat, secretly recording these pictures. "5 kilometers from the wall, the first opportunity to pull off the road without causing traffic problems and arousing suspicion." He was finally safely in the west and overjoyed to be there. But still shaky, aware of what might have happened had he been caught. The special moment was photographed for posterity. The dummies were quickly dismantled and false Russian number plates hurriedly replaced by false West German ones. This morning, savouring the taste of freedom, Braun strolled through the streets of West Berlin, hardly believing even now that the plan had worked. The escape car parked nearby, still smelling of fresh paint. And this is Wolfgang Quisner, the man who planned it all, a man who's been spiriting people out of the East for 15 years. His most notable scheme to date, smuggling 12 Poles to the West, disguised as nuns. Braun in tears almost as he told me why he had to escape. Braun, welcome to the West.
I am happy to be here, West Berlin.
Can you tell me, you must have been very desperate to take this chance of spending, 15, 20 years in prison by trying on this stunt. What made you quite so desperate to leave the East?
To think of the future, that he could be a free man, he would take this chance to come to the West, even despite he had all this available for himself.
Herr Braun was a tire dealer in the East. He owned several houses. He was rich by East German standards. This is his '59 Chevrolet. There was trouble with the law. He feared arrest, so he got a message to Wolfgang Quisner.
Well, we are happy that we have to show the communists and the whole world that the wall is still there. I think we are very proud, yeah, but our nerves kaput now too, yes, because the last 24 hours we couldn't sleep really.
The escape was meticulously planned. Quisner's men took hundreds of photographs of Russian soldiers to make sure they got the dummies' uniforms right. The dummies themselves, chosen and dressed with extreme care. Once they put them in civilian clothes as a test and took them to a drive-in movie. Nobody noticed they were dummies. So finally, uniforms complete, they were smuggled to the East and everything was set to go. Under the post-war agreements, the Russians are guaranteed unimpeded access to the western sectors, although the Allies don't like it very much. They make daily patrols here. They don't need passes. So when Heinz Braun and his dummy Russians turned up at the checkpoint here in Valid and Strassen, they were actually given a salute by the East German border guard, who then waved them through to freedom. Early this morning, the dummies were bagged up and transported to the Checkpoint Charlie Museum, where details of his extraordinary escape were given to the rest of the world at a crowded news conference. This is obviously a terrific embarrassment to the East Germans and indeed to the Russians, coming as it does just 2 weeks before both sides commemorate, for different reasons and in different ways, the 25th anniversary of the building of the Berlin Wall. Vernon Mann, News at 1, Berlin.